Wait, don't buy that book.
Bonjour! Ah, c'est une superbe journée aujourd'hui. Regarde ça.
Want to leave aboard a sailboat? Skip the 500-page manual. I wrote it, and I'd rather share it with you in person. I'm 71, with 40 years at sea, including 20 living full-time aboard my own 6 sailboat. You see me coming, right? Along the way, I pick up countless little tricks, that kind you only learn by making plenty of mistakes. My experience gives you the tools to reach your dream with a realistic, step-by-step approach that stay accessible and organized. Be ready to take notes. We start now and go straight to what's matter, you. You will see quickly how you will get there. It's easy than it's look because I'm right next to you.
You're in paradise, sweetheart.
Now we studied in the previous episode the magic ratio. So now take this principle and we will apply it on 6 sailboats that are very well known to be blue water boat. And let's see the reading. Let's see what is the result of this ratio and what we learn out of it. Let's go. Hi. For you today, I chose 6 sailboats to live aboard. Long term. They are bulletproof and can be, all of them, my next sailboat. I will sail around the world at any time with any of them. And many will agree with me on this short list. In brief, they are heavy duty, affordable, and reliable. What is the factor I use to pick my favorite 6 sailboat? Well, the standard are this one. They need to be heavy, stable, and well built. They need to be of impeccable reputation. They need to be comfortable. They need to be safe and circumnavigable. Need a boat that's able to go around the world. This is important. For a liveaboard long term. As I said, you never know where you go when you have a boat. Wind's free and the water is free too, okay? I need a boat that is length enough for comfort in the open ocean and also at anchor. You need to be also small enough to reduce the operational cost. We talk about here no marina buy, no toys, just serious stuff. Basically, the boat I introduced you today, they were built in the 1970 to 1980, 85. Why this year's? Because of the quality of manufacturing. Yes, you can find modern boat like that may be not that tough. Or if it's that tough, it will be very expensive. These 6 sailboat, liveaboard, they are all about the same. Slow. Don't go upwind. Not that roomy. Old school, old naval architecture, but top notch. And affordable today for the average dude like me, for example. Why they are so good from this era? It's because of the petrol crisis between 1973 and 1974. Before this date, boats was overbuilt, especially before 1982, let's say. In the case of the Taiwanese boat like Diana, Formosa, or Hans Christian still tick all the way to 1985. That quality of manufacturing is reflected in this ratio. Example. The ratio is the DNA of the boat. It's what is underneath the hood. It's important to know that. Okay, let's explore one ratio. The comfort ratio. A comfort ratio of smaller than 30. The boat is considered as a coastal cruiser, lighter motion, nervous boat, not comfortable. If it's between 30 and 40, the comfort ratio, you have a moderate blue water comfort. A lot of boats are this section is really good, 30 and 40. Closer you are at 40, better you are, but 32 is good now. All right. 40 plus. Then you have in your hand a tank, a solid AVC comfort sailing vessel. You see, it's very important to know that, and we will explore in another episode all the ratio, how it's working, and we'll go to the bottom of this, and I will give you a free Excel sheet that you will put your data, and we'll come back later about that. But it's pretty fun to study with this kind of instrument. Okay, higher is the comfort ratio. Equal, more comfortable the boat is. Not a tanker on the ocean. Swell, sea, wave. That's what it means. So if you take the capsize factors, but lower it is, safer is the boat. Okay, the first one I picked for you guys is the West Sail. It's a legend. It's the West Sail 32 with a comfort ratio of 42.9 and a capsize factor of 1.64, which is really on the top notch. Of course, you can dream about the safety and comfort at sea. And you have a capsize ratio of 164. Lower of 2, more straight state of boat. All right, roughly. And you can buy today a West Sail 32 for about 15 to 45,000 US dollar. They are hard to find a little bit, but if you buy this boat, you're pretty in good shape. Another one is the Tayana 37. Tayana makes such a really reliable boat that they are also not a legend, but kind of Volvo. If I can compare with a car, they are really good in any kind of weather, and they will sell a lot to people who want to go around the world, you know. Anyway, the Tayana 37, I have a comfort ratio of 41, that is over 50, which is excellent, and a capsize factor of 1.63, which is again lower of 2, which is really good. You can find a Tayana 37 for between $40,000 and $120,000 US at the moment. Another good buy, good candidate, let's say, is the Carbon 39. The Carbon 39 with the stain around a little bit. No, it was really special. When I was young, I was looking at this boat. I was looking, wow, you know, this looks like a bizarre design, but it was really efficiency. And a lot of people buy this boat at the time to live aboard. It was really roomy inside, generous storage, etc. There was, and it's still wonderful boat, very thick hull, very solid, ocean-going boat, blue water, call it the way you want. This boat is going. A comfort ratio, 37.9. We not reached 40, but we're really close, which is really good at my sense. And the capsize factors is 1.70 with lower of 2. We are safe. Price, 45,000 to 90,000 US dollar. You know, we talk about this money, but think about it. It's a home. You buy yourself a home for a long time. $45,000 for a home that's go anywhere in the world, and you always home anywhere you are. It's not pay too much money. Okay, well, I understand. We need to have that money, but we do the exercise here. The last one is the Sharky of Amel. It's 39 foot. The Sharky of Amel have a comfort ratio of 36.6. We don't reach 40, but it's a good range. Over 30, let's say it's good. Between 30 and 40 and 40 plus. Comfort, capsize factor, 1.69. Much lower of 2. Price, you can find a nice Sharky, which is a French boat, by the way. It was built by Mr. Henri Hamel. And he built this wonderful boat like the Maramu, Super Maramu. And this little 39 feet, super cute, super well organized, super ocean going. It's called the Sharky. And the particularity is Mr. Hamel was blind. Imagine. I know. There are a lot of beautiful stories in the sailing world, right? Okay. So we can find a Sharky, $80,000 to $120,000 US dollar. You know, We look all these boats, and they are not in your backyard, like I said. They can be anywhere in the world. You need to go and pick up it where he is. But this is all the fun of finding your home on the water and the capacity to travel anywhere you want. This is the kind of exercise you need to do, and it's not a boring one. Okay, another one. The Hans Christian 33. The Hans Christian 33 or 38. Exactly the same. One time I was at anchor in Nassau Harbor in the Bahamas. And I was by myself. And at night, I take a nice pair of pants, a nice shirt, and I take my dinghy. I roll my cuff, and I put my shoes in a plastic bag, go in the dinghy, take a little canal, go to Paradise Island where the hotel were, and I was going to socialize, make friends and beautiful women there, etc. And one night I get out of my boat to go to Paradise Island, and then I see that thing right there, about 2 boats behind me, and about 100 feet from the canal where I was turning with my dinghy to go to Paradise Island. It was a black owl, and it was so wood carving. It was beautiful. It was looked like a ship, and it was the Hans Christian 33. All my life I dreamed to buy one. It never happened. But this boat have something magic all over the place. And it's a Taiwan boat, and they are really, really well made. And the wood carving was extraordinary. The reason, a little thing I would like to mention is in Taiwan, they keep the hull more thick, and it was less affected by the petrol crisis of 1933, 1974, because their manpower was cheaper. So they have a kind of balance in it about the construction price, and they keep the very thick construction at the time until 1985. So that's why the boat of Taiwan are still better. Hans Christian 33, comfort ratio 32.9. We're between 30 and 40. Capsize factors 1.75, lower of 2. Price, you can find this boat somewhere between 30,000 and 90,000 US dollar. And you have another one. The Island Packet 35. Okay. Island Packet is very well known boat. This brand, and everybody knows this boat, and sometimes some people criticize some problem with manufacturing of some rigging, chain plate, for example. But generally, they are really well-known boat, really roomy inside, very comfortable, and blue water boat. All right. Well, if you want the Island Packet 35 or any Island Packet, I suggest you make a research about, in particular, the chain plate. The comfort ratio of the Island Packet is 31.3. The capsize factor is 1.85, which is, you see, they are in a good range now. Price for Island Packet 35 at the moment between $70,000 up to $160 US dollar. Now forget all these boats and remember this for the future. You have here some information that they are important, plus your personal experience that you have a very nice general idea how to make your own research. So make your own research accordingly to all this information. Sleep on it, and that will, I hope it will help you to take the right decision. To live aboard, you need a boat with no frontier. And no matter what, you need to be inside the ratio we study. The rest, it will be your story. To finish, to express my thought about the ratio, let's say it this way. I will not choose a boat because of this ratio. But I will not buy one that fall outside them either. Well, thank you for this one. If you have any question, I'm here, and hope that that's helped. More to come. All right, the last week question was, you're with your boat and you go through a pass, a cut between two islands, whatever, an entrance, and they have a lot of tide. The tide is very, very, very intense, okay? Very big amplitude of the tide. And you need to go through. But the tide is so strong, you can have 7 knots of current in that cut. So you maybe try to get in and you maybe get backward because of your hull speed. So you cannot go through. Or sometimes you can go through, but it's tricky. You need to be careful. You need to know when is the best time to go. When is in your favor, not too much, not too less. And there's a trick for that. It's not really a trick. It's a technique. It's a beautiful technique. And it's called the rule of 12. Okay, the rule of 12 is this. In 6 hours of a tide, down or high, in the first hour, you have 1/12 of the tide that's going there. Suppose the tide is 12 feet. Just to make it easy to understand. The tide is 12 feet. First hour, you have 1 feet to go down in your tide, or go up. Okay. Second hour, 2/3. 2/12, sorry. 2/12 of the tide. A little bit faster current there because you have more waters going out under your shoes, you know. The third hour and the fourth hours, then you have 3/12 of the tide and 3/12 of the tide. So half of the tide is between the third and the fourth hour. Do you imagine the current you can have in your side or against you during these 2 hours? That's where maybe you want to be and maybe you don't want to be there. But you need to know it is important. And after, it's going down to the slack. Then after, on the 5th hours, you have 2/12 of the tide. And the first hour, the last hour, you have 1/12 of the tide. And after is the slack and it's going back on the other side. This is the rule of 12. When you know when your tide is, when you know what time it is, you can know what's going on under if you sail, if you have a current, if it's time to take that cut or it's not the time to take that cut because maybe the tide is too strong that versus your hull speed, you will not be able to go through. And maybe you can end up in the rock because you can lose control. It's important to know that factor and consider it. And you will find it beautiful and it's very cool, you know. Me, I remember one time I was in the Bahamas in 1989 about, between the Abaco and West End. And at that time, the Bahamian have the thing, you find that thing to catch some money. They moved the marker from the channel and moved a little bit to the left, for example. So when you come with your boat, you ground, you know. And then they come to your boat with the power boat, small power boat, and they say, "Hey, sir, we can put you out of there for $50." You know, well, today would be 400. I don't know, but anyway. But me, I know the rule of 12, and I know exactly in 45 minutes I will get out of there because the water will go under my boat, and I will get out, and then I will be more careful on my way because knowing that can happen again. So you see, the rule of 12 permit me to sit down in the cockpit, take a coffee, relax, and go out when the time was coming, and I was knowing in advance when. I was not worried. So it's a good thing. So hopefully you will like it, the rule of 12, and you will use it. Please don't forget to subscribe. I never mentioned it, but I realize I don't have too much subscriber, but I never mentioned it. Subscribe. That will give me the chance to other people to look at this video. Maybe it will help them. Who knows? Thank you very much for watching that. I appreciate it. Question of the week. Let's see a problem that all of us, or all of you, when you have a boat, will face one day. How to start a diesel engine that is in storage for weeks, months, and sometimes years. The problem is this one. The cylinder and the piston are really dry because all the oil have dropping in the pan and nothing's left too much. So what do you do with that? Because if you start the engine, you know, you can damage your piston or your cylinder. That's it. It's one of the three. All right. First one, you just start the engine, and at your opinion, nothing will happen. The second option is you put oil in the cylinder. You open your injector and you put a little bit of oil in the cylinder to give the chance to start it okay. And the third option, you hold the killing switch and then you turn the starter so the engine will go slowly and it will give a chance to the oil to come and lubricate the cylinder. So what is the real good way to do that? I realize that there's not too much sailor that are sensitive to that. Well, the answer in the next episode. Yeah, that's the way it is. Welcome aboard and thank you very much to subscribe. Have a good week.